And I can tell excitement is in the air, just all the chattering going on, saying hi, hello, as we get close to Thanksgiving this week and then on to Christmas. It's a very blessed time to be here with friends, definitely. Well, we welcome you and everyone who's watching from around the world. Good morning to them too. And if this is the first time that you're here with us, we have a friendship packet at the welcome table there or in the entryway. And we'd also be glad to take you on a tour of our grounds. We have 2.5 acres here. We have a meditation pavilion, a children's cottage, a labyrinth to walk and pray, and we'd be happy to take you around there. I'm the practitioner of the day along with Christine and Charlie. So the three of us will be by the bell after service if you'd like to take a walk or if you'd like a prayer for something in your life. Any good news or to help solve bad news or to just lift you up today. So we're very happy to do that. We're having an opening song by George. Are you doing an opening song, George?
I believe I am.
Oh, well, come on in. George Rogers is one of our favorites. Glad you're here.
Thank you. Yeah. Being here now is a dangerous place to be because sometimes you forget where you are altogether. At least that's my personal experience. Now, I'll let others go deep with you. This is my rendition of going deep. I discovered that my dog might have a better perspective on life than I do. So I wrote this song. So how is it that we've come here, spin around the sun, watch all of this life going by? Like a pup with his head out the window, we don't want to miss a thing. We've all been taken out here for a ride. You can sing the chorus if you choose to. Going for a ride, going for a ride. Someone please roll down the window so I can see outside. Well, I'll bark when I feel happy, Lord, and I'll bark when I get mad. Might not think I have a lot to say, but it's the only words I had, and I'm going for a ride. Well, no fantasy can match this place, no visions of heaven or hell. If you can't see it, you might as well go home. Because it passes over my head at night as I lie there in my bed. And the stars, they keep on spinning on and on. I'm going for a ride. I'm going for a ride. Someone please roll down the window so I can see outside. Well, I'm going to bark when I get happy, man, and I'm going to bark when I get mad. Might not think I got a lot to say, but it's the only words I have, and I'm going for a ride. Well, it's not for me to answer. I don't think I'll even try. Though wise men do imply that the answers lie inside. Sometimes I do look in there just to see what it all means, but it's hard to bring it back. Can't fit it in my sack, and a distinct explanation I've not received. But I'm going for a ride, going for a ride. Someone please roll down the window so I can see outside. I'm gonna bark when I get happy, and I'll bark when I get mad. You might not think I got a lot to say, but it's the only words I had, and I'm going for a ride. Going for a ride, going for a ride. Someone please roll down the window so I can see outside. Well, I'm gonna bark when I get happy. I think we bark when we get mad. Might not think I got a lot to say, only words I had, and I'm going for a ride. Thank you.
Oh, George, that is so cute. That is so cute. Any dog lovers out there? Oh, yeah. You know, what was that? That is great. All right, I'd like to invite you to turn and wave at the camera. We have a lot of people out there that want to see who's here and who isn't. Maybe they're at home just taking a nice morning off. Thank you, Lindy. That's very sweet. We have some other members of the team here today, our ushers and greeters, and glad you are there. And we have the kitchen cookies making lunch for us this morning. And Christine and I came here early, and Lori's in the office, and Reverend Sue and Doug held at the board desk. So we're glad you're all here, and Lindy in the sound team. So it takes a whole group to make this a beautiful morning. If you have a cell phone that needs to be silenced, please do that now. Thank you. And we have some focus announcements. Now, we have quite a few, so get ready. If you missed the baskets in the foyer, that's a raffle, so they're all fabulous. Put together by the Bliss team, and they do a fabulous job. I'm just always in awe of how many things are in each basket. Last year, I won the Christmas basket, and I drove right to my daughter-in-law's house, and I said, "Merry Christmas," because I didn't necessarily need all that stuff, but she was just thrilled. So even if you don't need all of it, you can give it away as a gift, which is really sweet. And then we have the Beehive Alive, and that is our stewardship program. And the bees are all on the wall out there, and you can sign up to be to make a donation every month or week or whatever works for you for the next year, so that we know how much money we'll have available and how things are going to go. The Holiday Bazaar is what's in here and at the tables, and although things are priced as marked, you don't have to bid on them. If you want the item, you just pay for it in the foyer, and it's yours. The practitioners and the congregational support team have decided to take up some donations for the Salvation Army's food pantry, because I know it's heavily used right now. And so there's a basket in the social hall, any kind of canned foods, pasta, rice, things like that, things that go really well. They have I go by that, it's on Larkspur Lane. I go by their center so often, taking the back ways to certain places. There's always a line out there when they're giving out donations, and I know those people really need it. And they make sure that they're people that need it, and so they can go in there. And the nice thing about the pantry right now is they'll have, okay, you can take one of these 3 types, you can choose, so you just don't get whatever they have. So choices mean a lot to people, especially with young children. The Christmas play tickets are on sale now. It's $25 a ticket, and it's the Playhouse, Riverfront Playhouse downtown. And it's we're doing this with Unity. And so it'll be a lot of fun when the doors open at 7. Unity and us will be bringing some snacks to have before the play starts. And it's called Have Yourself a Crazy Little Christmas, Wednesday, December 10th, and the doors open at 7. If you haven't noticed, some part of our congregation is aging beautifully. And some of our congregation really needs a ride. And they've asked, is there anybody that can help me go to church? I watch it on TV, but it's just not the same. So if you have a little love in your heart for helping someone get here that just loves to see their friends in person, talk to Reverend Sue. She has a list of people. The bookstore and the center will be closed Thursday and Friday, November 27th and 28th for Thanksgiving, but the evening of the 28th is open mic night. And I that's just one of the celebrations that we have here. It's really wonderful. Next Saturday, we'll be decorating the center for the holidays. So if you have time that morning to come on in and help decorate, that would be great. And next Sunday, Reverend Kay Stewart will be talking, and we're excited about that. We don't get to hear from Kay often, and she's a really great speaker, so we're happy about that. And I got a kick out of this. We have the 360 band, Dick and Nadine and Michael. Well, she's calling it the 240 band. It's just going to be Dick and Nadine. So I thought, 240, who's that? Okay, in your program are a couple things I wanted to point out. Tuesday, December 2nd is Giving Tuesday. If you don't know about that, it's the most wonderful thing. I really enjoy scrolling through at least 50 to 100 nonprofits that are listed that you can directly donate to online. It's really wonderful. And they're always really appreciative, because sometimes there's some of these that I forget about, like Horsetown Clear Creek Preserve. There it is. And I know that's a wonderful place to go to and hike. So it's through North State Giving, www.northstategiving.org, December 2nd. But I think also the day before you can do that also. And then we're having a fundraising concert. It's not for us. It benefits one life at a time. Now, I'm not sure what that is, but it's Shasta County's Klezmer Ensemble. And the concert is Shana Nashema. Anyway, it's in the program. I hope I pronounced it right. And it's Saturday, December 6th, 6:30 to 8. It's the only klezmer music ensemble in Shasta County. New to me, but I think that would be a really interesting thing to go to. What else? There was something else. Oh, Blue Santa. Yay! It started really well. Janet brought these in, and I think it's from the, is she in here, Janet? Discovery Shop, most likely. But they are so cute. And then someone brought the Mickey and Minnie Mouse, and we're doing this for the Reading Police Auxiliary. They do this every year. And on their day, when they distribute these, they go first to the hospitals, to all the children in the hospital, and they give them one. Then they go to really lower income areas of Reading, drive around, and kids come out because they know, and they'll hand them out. And so I always love seeing a police car go by with a teddy bear hanging out the window. It's so cute. And then when they go on disturbance calls to homes, when there's a family disturbance, they've got them in their trunk and they can give them to the children. It's really sweet. All right, I think we're ready to go. So, would you like to do the bell? We like to ring the bell 3 times to take us into that place in our heart where we can connect with the prayer that I will do. It's a very special time. This morning, we recognize the truth that God is all there is, that this infinite intelligence that has created each one of us out of love, And we are here in this life experience to give and receive love, but also to be curious about the universe and about God and about everything that goes on this planet. And to know it's all on purpose. There's a reason for the good and the bad, the wonderful, the tearful. And that's what makes us human, is that we can feel the emotion in everyone's life and be curious about why. And for me, I know for myself and most people in the world, we're curious because maybe we played a part in making it happen. Maybe we were a little too, judgmental. Maybe we looked down on too many people or questioned their integrity or, thought less of others when God created them in love. And so I know for myself, especially this holiday season, I look at everyone with love in my heart, wishing them peace, centeredness, feeling the blessings of being alive as a child of God, and celebrating that. So in gratitude, I let these words go as they center in on my heart, and I hope on your heart too. This is the time for not only curiosity about why, but sending love and gratitude to everyone we know and everyone we meet and everyone we just think about. So I release this prayer knowing it's embedded in my heart, and I hope yours too. It's that time for Thanksgiving. Thank you, God, for letting us celebrate this again this year. And I release these words to the law of mind, the law of word. And so it is. Reverend Sue, you have a tough topic.
Good morning. We moved the chairs in a little bit for the display of the goods and services, so it makes it feel more crowded in here. It's funny, I got more butterflies. So it's just interesting how you just reshape something and the whole feeling seems different. So the topic is, as Mary so beautifully prayed us forward into the understanding of leaning into curiosity. And it is, we're all preparing one way or another for the beginning of the holidays, and Thanksgiving being this week. I just have to share this cute little thing I saw. Has nothing to do with the topic, but I think it's so cute. An elderly aunt at a family reunion once said, "Remember, family is like fudge, mostly sweet, with a few nuts." So you can kind of remember that if that's showing up at your table. I just thought, that is so dang funny. So, but I really am taking this message, as always, the Centers for Spiritual Living have a theme that trying to bring us all together in common thought. So a lot of the ministers will take a topic and take some of their ideas, but shape it in a way that feels more authentic coming from the minister themselves. And so that, where I'm going to share with you today is about a little bit about octopus. And so I'll come to that in just a second. Albert Einstein, who to me is one of the scientists that seemed to be so engaged with intelligence, right? He just seemed like a really, really smart man. And he said, our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. Now, I love that idea because he is so masterful at focusing in on detail and wisdoms in that form. And then this advice to widen our perspective so that we can embrace with greater compassion all that is. So today we're going to look at our experience in life with greater empathy, if we can go there, and a different look at our respect, knowing that we are interconnected with all that is, And as we widen our lens here to shift our perspective just even a little bit, our hearts open as well, and that empathy flows. So the octopus. So here's one of the readings, and this comes from a book written by Cy Montgomery, and it's called The Soul of an Octopus, a surprising exploration into the wonder of consciousness. So here it goes. Octopus, aren't they monsters? My friend Jody Simpson asked me in alarm as we hiked our dogs. Weren't you scared? Her question reflected less of an ignorance of the natural world than a knowledge of Western culture. A horror of giant octopuses and their kin, the giant squid, has animated Western art forms from the 13th century Icelandic legends of 20th century American films. Eager to defend the octopus against centuries of character assassination, I replied, monsters? Oh no, not at all. The dictionary definition of a monster always mentions the words large, ugly, and frightening. Well, to me, Athena, that's the octopus, was as beautiful and benign as an angel. Even large is up for debate where octopuses are concerned. As I described Athena's grace, her gentleness, her apparent friendliness, Jody was skeptical. A huge slimy thing covered with suckers qualifies as a monster to her. Well, I conceded and I changed my tactic. Well, being a monster then is not necessarily a bad thing. I've always harbored a fondness for monsters, even as a child, and this part I can so relate to, and I'm so curious if you can too. I rooted for Godzilla and King Kong. There you go, right? I know. I felt so sad for Godzilla, and I watched that movie over and over. Instead of people trying to kill them, all those people attacking them, it had seemed to me that these monsters' irritation was perfectly reasonable. Nobody likes to be awakened from slumber by a nuclear explosion. So it was no wonder to me that Godzilla was crabby, and King Kong, a few men would blame him for the attraction to pretty Fay Ray, though her screaming would eventually put off anyone less patient than a gorilla. If you looked at the monster's point of view, everything they did made perfect sense. The trick was learning to think like a monster. I think that's clever. So the soul of an octopus. So have you ever, curious about this, how many of you have seen the movie My Octopus Teacher on Netflix? Right? And take that in. Yeah, it is life-changing. It's so phenomenal. You can get it on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, it's a great holiday movie even to look at, to really open your heart to this empathy that we're speaking of. Because you can really relate to the affection that your heart grows with looking at this creature, this mysterious creature that we named the octopus. So it is our destiny to lean in, I believe, to our curiosity as we strive to recognize our oneness with all. I really appreciate Mary's prayer on that, because I have to admit I've been squeamish since I'm a child, and I shared a few weeks ago my creeps about spores. Well, don't even let me talk to you about the spory sucker things on the octopus's legs. They have creeped me out since I was a child, and I even tried to surrender that to try to get a boy to like me because he was eating a can of squid or something, and he asked me if he wanted one, and he held up one of the legs with those suckers on it, and I put it in my mouth, but all I could, I'll move on. It's bringing my tummy to feel funny, but it didn't work. I didn't impress him. All I did was gross myself out. So back to the topic here. But being curious is to suddenly look at one another. Can we see each other's grace and beauty? And especially looking at this octopus in the ocean waters, we can overcome the shallow reactions and allow our hearts to open with new awarenesses to the remarkable beings that lie beneath the ocean waters, just there alone. We open to the wonder and the awe and the beauty and the intelligence that is so profound, and we glean in appreciation. We lean then not just into our curiosity, but into the amazement of the divine showing up in all forms of life. Now, the global vision of CSL, Center for Spiritual Living, is we envision a world in which we grow and live as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all of life, a world where this kinship with life prospers and connects through the guidance, spiritual wisdom, and experience. So I like this idea that we can just be curious to get past our misunderstandings, and we can truly ground ourselves in some of the principles of this philosophy. Ernest Holmes said, we believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that life is God. If we choose to live in that belief, if we allow ourselves to center in that, including all the things that cause us angst, here I go again with this, the uncertainty and the fear, it's all divine. We have to allow ourselves to open our hearts to that. It's all God, it's all divine. Everything has the presence of the one within it. So the another thing that Ernest Holmes says, you belong to the universe in which you live. You are one with the creative genius back of the array of ceaseless motion, this original flow of life. You are as much a part of it as the sun, the earth, the air. So it's important here. It's important here to get past our small selves and truly begin to look at what's going on mysteriously all around us that surrounds us. And when we can let down that resistance, when we can allow ourselves to pay attention to what we hold biases about and choose to recognize the soul nature is what I'm talking about. I loved George's song about the dog because, you know, the bark of the dog, we don't know if it's a joy bark or a mad bark, right? It just is. It's something stirring in the precious animal. So we look at witnessing this divine expression in all. And if we can leap then into knowing and remembering in the most subtle of ways that we are interconnected, we're swept in to what carries us through our misunderstandings by love. And that sense of connection begins to deepen. It might be slow, it might be crusty, it might be clumsy. It might be filtering through some of your frustrations with other beings, but there's a level of respect that comes by leaning into our curiosity. And I love the part of nature and that every life form has a soul. Every life form has a soul nature. And that soul nature is carried in the divine soul of all that is. So we all have recognized, as we mentioned, our dog pets, all of our pets have unique personalities, don't they? When you, Norma, her teddy dog is just the most adorable dog. It's a universal dog everybody wants. But every animal develops these personalities and this sweetness. And the animal kingdom, it's there in every form. Lately I don't know why it keeps showing up on my Facebook, but that darn female lion and the male lion, he's snoring away on his side. He's got his big mane and he's snoring. And she's looking at him and she swats him with her big giant paw. And he wakes up and he's like, what the heck? And she's just glaring at him. That's so universal. Not that I do that, but I just thought it's so amusing to me. And even though it keeps showing up, I watch it every time all the way through. Facebook, some of the things I rub me the wrong way, but there's so many things when it brings babies and pets in there. Man, I'm a sucker for it. I'll just start going from reel to reel to reel, enjoying all of it. Because I'm looking at something of nature that's showing me something I don't really totally understand. And it's sharing back to us a wisdom. And we know that this isn't a profound thing I'm talking about. It's not a big breakthrough. But we know this. We've studied some of these things in our times together, how the trees communicate. I can't stop being in awe of that, how their interconnected network beneath the soil, how two trees will grow right next to each other in more of a desolate place just to survive, just to lean into each other so that they share the same nutrients and they become stronger and they're able to weather the winds and the storms and the snow. They stand tall and strong because they know they're interconnected. So, and the trees themselves, they will signal with their leaves, fear, bad insects coming. And so it lets the other forest down the way start to release into their leaves some kind of a chemical reaction that makes their leaves not tasteful for this bug that's coming. That's just so amazing to me. Isn't it to you? There we go. Whew. I'm going off script here, but I love the fact that they share nutrients. And they also think about, we take it for granted, but when I was watching the Eternal Song film last week, which was incredible, there were so many pieces to it. That starts with the indigenous people loving this forest, this land, this fullness. And then the settlers come in and they're harvesting the wood. And it's almost like, oh, that alone in nature was difficult to watch and to continue to, I see it when I'm in an airplane and I look down and I think, ooh, the deforestation is quite obvious when you're up in the air because they seem to keep a hemline along the routes that you're driving so you don't notice it as much. But these trees, their leaves are our air. They're our oxygen. They're precious. So I can feel the woundedness when I witness that as I fly over. So the leaves, the trees help us breathe and have life. And there's also been studies that they have a collective mourning when one of their trees fall or get sick. I thought, how do they know that? Some form of mourning. So I think what the raging forest must feel when the raging fires come and what they face. We're all haunted by it here, but it's so destructive, it seems, or is it nature? So we have to be curious and look at things from a wider lens and wider perspective. And I've been sharing about the nature of bees, and it's been really fun to study them as they're a part of our financial prosperity drive. But how beautiful the nature of the bees and their vital role to our survival, and we know that. But it drives it home when you go to a binaries conference and they champion the stories of the bee. And you think about how when the bee's in flight, sometimes we're like, there's a bee, and it's flying around and we might start swatting around and it's afraid of the bee when it's just doing a flight pattern that has a communication going on. And we're messing up with that, with waving our hands energy through it. If we just let it be, let the bee be the bee, they just fly on and they're doing their thing. They're gathering information through their dance that other bees recognize, we don't. And the inner harmony of the hive is vital to its survival and their unconditional devotion to their queen. It's really something to wonder about. And think about the communication of the humming and the buzzing that translates again to their survival. Now that took me, when I was thinking about that, how beautiful it is in the spring and in the summer too, but in the spring when things just suddenly start to blossom and the bees are just, whew, and I've got an archway of trees that I have to walk through to get to the front door of the house. And I love to walk through there and hear that sound, stand there and hear that hum. Because in yoga, there's a hum that we try to create that same resonant sound by humming and creating that to affect our pineal gland, to open our consciousness to higher understanding. So you can just, cheat a little bit and stand with the bee, stand with a whole bunch of bees under the tree and just walk underneath and enjoy the opening that you'll experience. Because the harmony of Om is what you're hearing, is universal to all. So our mention of the octopus, Cy Montgomery discovered that these creatures, like humans, they have personality, skills, reasoning abilities, and they also had an awareness of life and death. Across all the species, the discovery that this intelligence is also forever connecting us. The song of the whales, the antics of the dolphins, we know this, the song of the birds, the vibration of the crickets, and the croaks of the frogs. We're just living amongst wonder. Now I'm going to take you a closer look, as you consider the mosses, the mushrooms, the algae. They too are bringing us wisdom. They're bringing us truth. So the research about slime molds, how many of you know about slime molds? Yeah, a few of you. I invite you to go down the rabbit hole like I did, and you won't get anything done. But it's fascinating what Scientific America has done and Nova Sciences, how they film, how the patience it takes to appreciate slime mold. I wish they named it something else. It sounds like something's on your teeth or something gross. But it's so mind-blowing because slime mold is a single-celled amoeba, so to speak, but they have no brain and no nervous system. But they have this remarkable intelligence. Now, does that make you curious? They can solve a complex problem like a maze. When I first read about it, I thought, what are they talking about? But a typical maze that you can see where you're trying to, when you're playing, take the dot through and find the exit. It sends out, the slime mold will be at the beginning, and it sends out this slimy messaging for walking forth before it through this maze. If it comes to a dead end in that maze, it locks it down. It allows itself never to go there again. It leaves some essence there. Don't go that way. It has an intelligence always working to find the shortest route. Makes me want to be a slime mold when I'm traveling somewhere. But they have they're continually recreating these really efficient networks to find those shortest routes, because they're looking for their nutrition through those needs. And they have the ability to make decisions, again, no brain, no nervous system, and they can anticipate change in their environment through a mechanism that operates on chemical memory trails, and their decisions are influenced by the organism's distributed parts. That sounds really heady, but how lovely to know that if we're all one, we have that too, but we're not accessing it. We're not using it as skillfully as the slime mold. Can we let that happen? So they leave behind this slime trail in areas they want to avoid in the future. And I thought, when I was reading that, I thought, I wish there was something like that could happen in those neural pathways of our own brain When we go into habit energy, I just wish it was like I could say, okay, slime mold in me, kind of fill up that neural pathway. I never want to go there again and eat popcorn, eat the whole bowl of popcorn. I don't want to do that anymore. And be done. And be done. It must be possible. We humans think we're so smart, but the slime mold has this one on us, I'm sure. So I hope it just piques your interest to check out slime mold and compare yourself to that. You'll see it as yellow globs when you're walking in the forest. Not only yellow globs, it can be the most amazing orange color. The color of these slime molds are incredible. And you want to look into the decay of the wood. You want to look under the bark. And the scientists are totally nerdy that are doing this, but they say nobody ever stops them to ask more about it. When they say, oh, what you doing? We're looking at slime mold. And they say, have a good day. And off they go. But a true scientist just explores that for the hours. So I point to that because it's a part of nature that we could possibly take for granted, and we might not have an understanding just because of the name itself. Slime mold is not something that really strikes us. So here we are widening our circle of understanding and awakening our sensitivity to nature, to honor the soul of life, the soul form in all things, in this beautiful planet, in this web of life. It just might be that today this idea of slime mold might be your awakening. Who knew? Who knew you waited all these years and it was right here in the slime mold? Because we can get accustomed to dismissing things we don't agree with or they don't align with our values. There's a wisdom teaching there. But if we fall short of even trying, even being curious just a little bit to understand one another and our actions, we're left with that edge in our heart that is causing us so much sadness, a prevailing level of depression at times. And so we want to look at some of these experiences from a spiritual eye and find out what is clashing with our truth. What is this challenge that we're unable to face in our humanity together? And yes, it takes us to walk that razor's edge, to look deeper beneath the stories, and to wake up to a greater sense of compassion as you explore and stay open with that curiosity. It's such a sweet avenue of the heart. And that helps us stay in peace when we explore what's around us, because we're all navigating our way through the humanity and all of the various chaotic, heartbreaking behaviors, unkind actions, unkind words. But can we be so brave to see beyond our first impressions and reactions and ask ourselves, what is motivating my behavior? What's motivating others' behavior to harm each other? And if we can seek to understand and not abandon one another, and see our sense of right and wrong into the complexities with a spiritual attuned awareness is what I appreciate thinking about, because I know there's an absolute principle of a greater love. There is absolutely a greater love that we have not even yet fully embraced in all of life. So I know I'm not there yet, but I know it's my soul's work, and I know that's why I get moody and grumpy, because I'm seeking to find that. And I know through affirmative prayer and staying curious instead of being righteous, these are the stepping stones that will build our way, staying focused and leaning in. So this week, just ask the deeper questions. Watch when you're triggered and ask the deeper questions. Dive into the inquiry. How did I get here? Who am I? Who am I in this? And why is my opinion seem so right? And it is. I'm not saying we have wrong opinions, but go deeper and listen to that. Brene Brown in the Atlas of the Heart, remember, says, awe and wonder are essential to the human experience. Both awe-inspiring events and the experiences that leave us filled with wonder often make us feel small compared to our expansive universe. Small, but connected to each other and to the largeness itself. So I'm going to invite Susan up here. I have something she brought forward to me that really helps on this week before Thanksgiving, and also our honoring of the indigenous people in the land that we are so blessed to have our establishment on, this center here. It's talking about the sacredness of life, this balance of nature, our ecosystems thriving. So when you listen to her words, know that every entity, everything, has a crucial role in maintaining the delicate balance of our ecosystem. It's so precious. It's such a treasure. And we are awakened beings, awake and with love in our hearts to appreciate that, to respect one another, and ultimately just be kind. So Susan, and this is your treatment, so I'll have Judy come forward and play the keys so you can relax, but prepare yourself for spiritual practice. Susan, thank you.
Beautiful, Sue. Thank you. This is titled Thanksgiving Address, and it's greetings to the natural world. It's offered to us by the Haudenosaunee. I will read just a little bit of their introduction here. And before I begin, I just want to honor the Wintu, who are indigenous to this land, who know this land intimately, and who have been here since time immemorial. And I honor the work that they are doing, the promise that they have made to the salmon, knowing that there is an interconnectedness with all of life, and we are all interconnected. So this Thanksgiving address, these words of thanksgiving come to us from the indigenous people known as the Haudenosaunee, formerly named the Iroquois, but that's a colonial name given to them. The Haudenosaunee know themselves as Haudenosaunee. They're comprised of 6 nations: the Mohawk, the Oneida, the Cayuga, the Onondaga, Seneca, and Tuscarora of upstate New York and Canada. They offer this Thanksgiving address because it has ancient roots, dating back over 1,000 years to the formation of the great law of peace by the great peacemaker. Today, these words are still spoken at the opening and closing of all ceremonial and governmental gatherings held by the 6 nations. A speaker is chosen to give the Thanksgiving greetings on behalf of the people, but they choose their own words, for we're all unique and have our own style. But the general form is traditional. It follows an order in which we can relate to all of creation. The address is based on the belief that the world cannot be taken for granted, that a spiritual communication of thankfulness and acknowledgement of all living things must be given to align the minds and hearts of the people with nature. This forms our guiding principle. And so this Thanksgiving address is intended to be a call and response. And so I would invite you to imagine, as we go through each one of these gratitude portions, to think about your own intimate connection with nature, with the natural world, with what you know of Creator. Maybe it's the slime molds, maybe it's the hummingbird, whatever draws you close to Creator. And then we are invited to join together after each section to say together, now our minds are one. The people. Today we have gathered and we see that the cycles of life continue. We've been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and all living things. So now we bring our minds together as one as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now our minds are one. The Earth Mother. We are all thankful to our Mother, the Earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk about upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our Mother, we send greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. The waters. We give thanks to all the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. Water is life. We know its power in many forms: waterfalls and rain, mists and streams, rivers and oceans. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the Spirit of water. Now our minds are one. The fish. We turn our minds to all the fish life in the water. They were instructed to cleanse and purify the water. They also give themselves to us as food. We're grateful that we can still find pure water, so we turn now to the fish and send our greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. The plants. Now we turn toward the vast fields of plant life. As far as the eye can see, the plants grow, working many wonders. They sustain many life forms. With our minds gathered together, we give thanks and look forward to seeing plant life for all generations to come. Now our minds are one. The food plants. With one mind, we turn to honor and thank all the food plants we harvest from the garden. Since the beginning of time, the grains, the vegetables, beans, and berries have helped the people survive. Many other living things draw strength from them too. We gather all the plant foods together as one and send them a greeting and thanks. Now our minds are one. The medicine herbs. Now we turn to all the medicine herbs of the world. From the beginning, they were instructed to take away sickness. They're always waiting and ready to heal us. We're happy there are still those among us special who remember how to use these plants for healing. And with one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the medicines and to the keepers of the medicines. Now our minds are one. The animals. We gather our minds together to send greetings and thanks to all the animal life in the world. They have many things to teach us as people. We see them near our homes in the deep forest. They are everywhere, and we are so glad they're still here. We know it will always be so. Now our minds are one. The trees. We turn our thoughts to the trees. The earth has many families of trees who have their own instructions and uses. Some provide us with shelter and shade, others with fruit, beauty, and so many useful things. Many peoples of the world use a tree as a symbol of peace and strength. With one mind, we greet and thank the tree life. Now our minds are one. The birds. We put our minds together as one and thank all the birds who move and fly about over our heads. The Creator gave them beautiful songs. Each day, they remind us to enjoy and appreciate life. The eagle was chosen to be their leader. To all the birds, from the smallest to the largest, we send our joyful greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. The four winds. We're thankful to the powers we know as the four winds. We hear their voices in the moving air as they refresh us and purify the air we breathe. They help to bring the change of seasons. From the four directions they come, bringing us messages, giving us strength. With our mind, we send our greetings and thanks to the four winds. Now our minds are one. The thunderers. Now we turn to the west, where our grandfathers, the thunder beings, live. With lightning and thundering voices, they bring with them the water that renews life. We bring our minds together as one to send greetings and thanks to our grandfathers, the thunderers. Now our minds are one. The sun. We now send greetings and thanks to our eldest brother, the sun. Each day, without fail, the sun travels the sky from east to west, bringing the light of a new day, the source of all the fires of life. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our brother, the sun. Now our minds are one. Grandmother Moon. We put our minds together and give thanks to our oldest grandmother, the moon, who lights the nighttime sky. She is the leader of women all over the world, and she governs the movement of the ocean tides. By her changing voice, we measure time, and it is the moon who watches over the arrival of children here on earth. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our grandmother, the moon. Now our minds are one. The stars. We give thanks to the stars who are spread across the sky like great jewelry. We see them in the night, helping the moon to light the darkness and bringing dew to the gardens and growing things. When we travel at night, they guide us home. With our minds gathered together as one, we send greetings and thanks to all the stars. Now our minds are one. The enlightened teachers. We gather our minds to greet and thank the enlightened teachers who have come to help throughout all ages. When we forget how to live in harmony, they remind us of the way we were instructed to live as people. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to these caring teachers. Now our minds are one. The Creator. Now we turn our thoughts to the Creator or Great Spirit and send greetings and thanks for all the gifts of creation. Everything we need to live a good life is here, right here in this moment on Mother Earth. For all the love that still surrounds us, we gather our minds together as one and send our choicest words of greetings and thanks to the Creator. Now our minds are one.
Susan, that was lovely. Thank you. I hope this doesn't have too many verses for you. You hear that guitar? The soot filters down, rests on our table, covers my chair and the seat of my pants. The clouds are sailing high, they've risen above it. I know I can't fly, but I wish I could dance. Wish I could dance. Lord, now I wish I could dance. Wish I could dance. Oh, how I wish I could dance. The skies turned gray with the smoke from our engines. The roadside is littered with the trash from our meals. Your baby's behind it is covered in plastic. The ones who ran wild, they roll under our wheels. I wish I could dance. Lord, now I wish I could dance. Wish I could dance. Oh, how I wish I could dance. If you walk on the ground, your feet will get dirty. People, they will tell you your ways are unclean. I come from the earth, and the earth is my mother. There's a rhythm of life, it still flows from the sea. And I wish I could dance to that rhythm. Lord, how I wish I could dance. I wish I could dance to the sea's rhythm. Lord, how I wish I could dance. Well, there's a word in the wind. There's a call down the canyon. There's a drum that beats steady through the fast falling rain. There's a time to hold fast, and there's a time to make ready. We'll live or we'll die by our choices, it seems. I wish we could dance. Lord, how I wish we could dance. Wish I could dance. Oh, how I wish I could dance. Wish I could dance. Oh, how I wish I could dance last time. Wish I could dance. Lord, how I wish I could dance. Thank you, folks.
I don't know. I'm ready.
Come on, darling.
Oh gosh, how my mother loved to dance. If the ushers would have come forward, please. Mhm. As we prepare to give our offering, Our hearts are filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for our spiritual well-being. I'm filled with gratitude, knowing that life stays in balance, for it is true, as I give, I receive. I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and those that come in during the week. I know each dollar supports this spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, pray together, even dance together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is.
So George has one more song for us. I want to thank you, Judy, for the beautiful playing in the background. You didn't anticipate that, but that gave your hands a workout. But I love that prayer. And if you need a copy of it, I have printed it out up here too, and I can go make copies. But it's such a great reflection to put the whole idea into an ancient prayer like that. My heart feels so full and grateful. So I'm also, it's Potluck Sunday, so those of you that brought something, we appreciate that. So enjoy your time in the social hall and maybe share some of what you're grateful for with one another and just meet a new friend. So George, you have a song for us, and then we'll stand after that and do the peace song. Right, Judy? All right. So thank you, and everybody have a wonderful holiday no matter what you do. Say a grace and enjoy it. Thank you.
I'm going to sing this as you're walking out too. It's a long way out and turning home. Rivers old and wide. The path that you have found will carry you to the other side. And the voice that echoes in your heart tells you you must try. So you turn your steps once more into the morning. Morning where everything is new. The morning where the light will shine for you. Morning where you try once more to be true. Yeah, you'll turn your steps once more into the morning. Your broken vessel overflows. Your heart tells you where you must go. You boasted of the strength you've shown as if it were your own. Give credit now where credit's due. You've never been alone. When you opened up your heart into the morning. Morning where everything is new, to the morning where the light will shine for you. Morning where you try once more to be true. Yes, you turn your steps once more into the morning. Now I'll say no more as life turns into light upon the way. My words cannot explain the truth nor clearly show the way, but loving is the teacher who comes to us each day as we begin to make our way into the morning. The morning where everything is new, morning where the light will shine for you. The morning where you try once more to be true. You turn your steps once more into the morning. You're a courageous bunch, and you will turn your steps once more into the morning.